Tien Kong Tran, Ph.D. Heidegger's Other Beginning. Chapters 7, 8, 9, 10. Chapter 7. Why Heaven and Earth. Man lives and he lives in a certain framework. The vastest framework for his living is sky above and earth below. The sky and the earth appear daily to man. Man daily sees himself dwelling with the sky above and the earth below. The sky and the earth influence and guide man's way of living. The sky and the earth show man the way. Looking up at the sky, man's life can be inspired in many manners. The high sky can elevate man's soul, he can feel lighter and nobler. The blue sky can cool man's soul, he can feel serener. The gentle wind can reduce life's heavy joke. Timely rain and wind can bring graces, green trees and good harvests. The sky can be an image of immortal and holy divinities. Looking down at the earth, man can see the guard of the earth. The earth becomes a place of eating and housing, of preventing sunshine and rain, of avoiding hot and cold. Man also sees the sustenance of the earth. The earth gives birth to flowers and fruits, nourishes animals, and brings food and drink. However, looking at the sky and the earth, we see not only good things but also bad things. The earth has floods, earthquakes and dryness. On the earth there are animals killing one another, people behave badly with one another, war, killing, robbery, deceit. There are many wicked living beings. The sky has storms, thunders, and lightnings, extreme hot, extreme cold. Through the events, the sky and the earth show men what is good and what is evil. Good is contribution to the peaceful dwelling and bad, evil, is destroying the peaceful dwelling. This definition of good and bad is not founded on the moral criterion, but it is founded on being. Dwelling is being. The moral criterion is not firm, for truth on this side of the mountain is falsehood on the other side of the mountain. There are many moralities. Meanwhile, the peaceful dwelling is the purpose of life in general. This purpose is beyond all disputes. The holy is another name for the good. If man wants to land on the peaceful dwelling, the holy is what guides man's thought, language and action. The word good seems vague, the word holy speaks more clearly, especially holy goes together with saving the earth, receiving the sky, waiting the divinities and initiating the mortals. If we want to bring being, peace, into language, the holy is the word of being. The holy is the word and the word is being or the way. The way or God is within man. But man does not create the way, he is not master of the way. Man hears the voice of heaven earth and inscribes it in his heart. Chapter 8. Hölderlin, the Fourfold and the Holy. Being and Time, 1927, meets an impasse, it does not reach being. Only until the thing, 1950, being as a flash of lightning appears as the Fourfold. Heidegger is in a dialogue with Hölderlin, thought is in a dialogue with poetry. Heidegger began to give lectures on Hölderlin the winter semester 1934–35 with the interpretation of two Hölderlin's poems Germany and the Rhine. Heidegger wrote the poem, 1968, which discusses the holy in Hölderlin. In two lectures and many articles between 1934 and 1968, Heidegger talked a lot about Hölderlin. The article Hölderlin's Earth and Heaven, 1959, presents Heidegger's united view of Hölderlin's fourfold. The fourfold is earth, heaven, God, and man. There is an infinite relation between earth, heaven, God, and man. Here infinite indicates that the earth is not finite in itself, and it is the same with the heaven, God, and man. This infinite relation designates a unity or a center of the fourfold. According to Hölderlin, in Heidegger's interpretation, the German poet is a sailor or a wanderer on the journey to Greece to look for fire or God. The Germans have the character of clarity in presentation, but they lack fire or God. When God is presented in clarity, he is a necessity to man's peaceful dwelling. The Greeks have fire or God, but they lack the clarity in presentation. But what makes God to be God? Not almighty, but holy. When God loses the holy, he is no longer God. Therefore the poet's mission is to express the holy or bring the holy into language. The poet is the connection between God and man. That is the reason why the poet is called demigod. He who seeks the peaceful dwelling has to become demigod. Demigod is half God, half man. The present world lacks the holy. If humans take this shore as their life's goal, the evil, not the holy or good, reigns the world. Chapter 9. Holy Living. Many people wait for Heidegger's ethics. Heidegger discusses being understood as way of being of man among beings or relation between man and beings. We have seen being as the event, then the event as the fourfold, then the fourfold including the holy. That is an ethics. In metaphysics, way of being or relation between man and beings lies in beings. Beings control the way of being, for outside beings there is nothing else, or if there is beingness, this beings is thought from beings. When beings control the way of being, being is evil. With Heidegger, way of being or relation between man and beings lies in being. There is being happening in the relation. At last being is the holy. So way of being of man lies in his relation to the holy. When the holy controls the way of being, being is not evil, but holy. The evil does not bring the peaceful dwelling, but the holy does. Because the way of being in metaphysics is evil, metaphysics needs ethics with the hope that it brings man out of the devil's hands. But metaphysics fails because being in metaphysics is evil. To teach morality to the devil is to build a castle on sands. History proves that fact. The evil dominates the present world. It is possible to say that ethics is a game the devil creates to disguise his face. Because the way of being in Heidegger is holy, Heidegger does not need ethics. It is possible to say that his thought is already an ethics, with the condition that this ethics is not a game of the devil. How can we see the holy? Heidegger's ponderings through many years bring us the following help. 1. Metaphysics makes us attach ourselves to this shore because there is only this shore. 2. With there is only this shore, there is only calculative thinking with beings. With there is only calculative thinking with beings, being is evil. Ethics cannot help us. 3. It takes Heidegger more than 20 years from Being and Time, 1927, to The Thing, 1949, to develop the shore of being or the other shore. We leave calculative thinking of beings and enter meditative thinking of being. Heidegger writes, besides The Thing, many small articles to expand the shore of being. Being appears as the fourfold, and in the fourfold the holy occurs. Now being is the holy. 4. Another determination for leaving this evil shore and reaching the holy shore is to leaving will and reaching no will. Will is will of beings and no will is no will of beings but will of being. Will of being is called no will to distinguish the two different wills. 5. After reaching the shore of being, what do we have to do? It is possible to say that, after reaching the other shore, we are in the mind of knowing things to accomplish so that we realize the holy life. For example, a person who received a judgment which is non-human and a robbery, he should know that it is a very light work of the devil. There are many evil things which are much greater. For example, a man is abandoned by his wife, he should know that a wife can kill or castrate. Abandonment is still lucky. Owing to the holy, man can have peace in his dwelling. To dwell according to the holy brings a peaceful dwelling, instead of an unpeaceful dwelling with a lot of suffering. If one is holy until the degree of loving enemies, as in Jesus' teaching, how cannot he get a peaceful dwelling? If the mark holy is still dim, let us add saving the earth, receiving the sky, waiting the divinities and initiating the mortals. Each person should remember that being is a mystery and each of us accomplishes his peaceful dwelling according to his own situation. Chapter 10. From the use to the peaceful dwelling. Heidegger travels from the use to the peaceful dwelling. How is it such? Man uses a jug. In the use of the jug appropriates the fourfold. In the presencing of the fourfold occurs the peaceful dwelling. The fourfold shows man the way to the peaceful dwelling. And man is in search of the peaceful dwelling. Why is man in search of the peaceful dwelling? There is no answer to this question because man, as man, has such a search. There is this search. And there is the fourfold that shows the way to such a dwelling. An animal is born and it lives according to the way of his nature. Man is born and he looks for the peaceful dwelling. Man is born and he has two ways of living, to live a peaceful life or to live an unpeaceful life. Man is anxious in looking for the peaceful dwelling. And man dwells peacefully if he dwells according to the fourfold. The expression if he dwells according to the fourfold designates that he is able to live not according to the fourfold. It is naturally so. Man has two ways, he is free to choose one of the two ways for each word, each action, and each thought. A difficulty always happens to man, many times he does not know the word, the action, and the thought that lead to the peaceful dwelling. He often falls in no knowledge or wrong knowledge. Therefore there is the question of ignorance and enlightenment. Therefore there are the teaching and the learning of the way. The way or the fourfold resides within man. It is very near to man, nearer than beings. But ordinarily man does not seize it, therefore it is very far, farther than beings. When he lives peacefully, he nears the way.